The Wuhan coronavirus has wreaked havoc on the world just a few months after its discovery in December 2019, but now the outbreak has entered a new phase where it seems to be rapidly spreading outside China while slowing within China. Hopefully, coordinated support by governments worldwide will slow or even stop its spread, but what would happen if everyone got the virus? Well, this situation is called an endemic, when the virus becomes common among humans. There are several estimates as to what the long-term mortality rate would be. They seem to range between 1 to 2%, but this is basically a guess. Currently, the rate hovers at about 3.5%. Let's just go back to 2009 for a second. The swine flu outbreak is in full swing, and attempts to contain it seem to have gone in vain. The virus ended up affecting almost 1.4 billion people. If the same happens with COVID-19, we could see anywhere from 14 million to 45 million deaths, bringing back memories of the 1918 flu outbreak, which saw about 30 to 50 million deaths with a similar mortality rate. The human cost would be monumental, with the large majority of deaths being the elderly and people with underlying health defects such as asthma, heart disease, or diabetes. What would be the economic cost? Well, the movement of people would be heavily restricted, so countries which rely heavily on tourism could experience a major economic slowdown. Supply chains would come to a halt, resulting in the prices of many common goods to rise, therefore battering consumption and the manufacturing industry as a whole. In fact, the effect on oil markets is already very pronounced. The price of oil crashed by 20% last week after Saudi Arabia stated that they would increase oil production from April and slash prices to compete with Russia. This combined with lower global demand led to the crash. Of course, this may sound great for the average person since operating a vehicle will become cheaper and input costs for companies will reduce. However, countries that export more oil than they import, so net exporters, for example Nigeria, Saudi Arabia or the USA, will take a major hit on their government's ability to invest, therefore negatively affecting their economic growth. The OECD actually warns that global growth could halve if the outbreak continues, and the economies of the most affected countries are likely to halt. China may even experience negative growth this quarter, the first time since Mao Zedong's era. If the spread cannot be controlled, then it is likely that poverty may rise and our health systems will be pushed right to their limits. Most of the global workforce will be at home, and negative growth would follow too. We would likely see a major recession with similar effects of the 2008 financial crisis. Many would lose their jobs. However, don't count on that happening. If other countries can also control the spread just like China did, we may see a V-shaped recovery with global growth rebounding next year or even as soon as this summer. The heat may just slow the spread enough to allow the virus to subside. Be sure to like this video and subscribe to the channel for more informative content.